You felt it this morning. Maybe it was a notification you were not expecting. Maybe it was a sound in the next room, or someone calling your name from down the hall. Your chest tightened. Your breath went shallow. Your eyes moved fast, scanning for something you could not name. And then, nothing happened. Everything was fine. But your body did not get that memo. Not right away. It took a few seconds, maybe longer, before the tension released and your heart slowed down. And you probably laughed it off. Just stress, just anxiety, just the way things are. But here is the truth. That reaction was not a flaw. It was not a malfunction. It was one of the most sophisticated survival systems ever built by 400 million years of biological pressure. And it is running inside you right now, in full force, even though the last predator that threatened your ancestors died long before you were born. Your brain still thinks you are being hunted, and once you understand why, you will never look at your own anxiety the same way again. Start with a number. The number is 99.9. That is the percentage of human existence spent in an environment radically different from the one you are sitting in right now. For the vast majority of your species' history, your ancestors did not live in buildings. They did not sleep in sealed rooms. They did not walk on paved streets or eat food from a sealed package. They lived in open landscapes, dense forests, exposed savannas, environments where something genuinely wanted to eat them. Predators were not a metaphor. They were real. Leopards hunted at night and dragged humans into trees. Hyenas moved in packs and could take down a full-grown adult. Cave lions, short-faced bears, giant crocodiles. Your ancestors shared the planet with animals that treated humans as prey, not predators. And for most of evolutionary history, humans were not at the top of the food chain. They were somewhere in the middle, vulnerable, watchful, always listening. Paleoanthropologist Robert Sussman spent decades studying ancient human bone records. What he found reframed everything we thought about early human life. The fossil record does not show evidence of humans as dominant apex hunters. It shows claw marks, puncture wounds, the remnants of humans who were caught, killed, and eaten. Sussman argued that for the first 2 million years of the genus Homo, predation pressure was one of the single most significant forces shaping human biology and psychology. Your brain is the product of that pressure. Here is how it works. Deep inside your brain sits a small, almond-shaped structure called the amygdala, your threat detector. Think of it as an alarm system installed before the rest of your brain was built. It is ancient, it is fast, and it does not wait for permission. When it detects something that resembles a threat, a sudden movement, an unexpected noise, a face that looks even slightly angry, it fires before your conscious mind has any say in the matter. Before you have even finished processing what you saw, your body is already responding. Your heart rate climbs. Cortisol floods your bloodstream. Blood moves away from your digestive organs and toward your large muscles. Your vision narrows. Your hearing sharpens. All of this happens in under 200 milliseconds. Your thinking brain, the prefrontal cortex, the part that reads and plans and reasons, is still loading when your threat response is already fully online. Neuroscientist Joseph Ledoux called this the low road. There are two pathways from your senses to your emotional response. The fast road goes straight from your sensory organs to your amygdala, bypassing conscious thought entirely. The slow road goes up to the cortex first, processes the information fully, then decides how to respond. The slow road is more accurate, but the fast road saves your life if you are wrong. Think about what that means for your ancestors. An early human hears a rustle in the tall grass. Option 1. Wait, analyze, gather more information, determine whether it is a predator or just the wind. Option 2. Freeze instantly, pupils dilate, muscles tense, prepare to run. The human who chose option 2 survived more often, even if they were wrong 9 times out of 10, even if it was always just the wind, because the one time it was not the wind, the hesitator was dead. This is what evolutionary biologists call the smoke detector principle. Coined by psychiatrist Randolph Ness, the idea is simple. A smoke detector that only goes off when there is a real fire is less useful than one that goes off too often. Yes, false alarms are annoying, but a missed alarm when the house is actually burning costs everything. Your brain runs on the same logic. It would rather trigger 10 false alarms than miss one real threat. So your threat system is tuned to be hypersensitive, deliberately, by design. And now, here is the problem. Your brain built this system for a world that no longer exists. The threats have changed completely. There are no leopards in your office, no hyenas outside your apartment. The predators are gone. But the alarm system is still running, and it cannot tell the difference between a lion in the grass and a passive-aggressive email from your manager, between a rival tribe at the edge of camp and a stranger making eye contact on the subway, between genuine physical danger and the feeling of being ignored at a party. To your amygdala, social rejection activates the same circuitry as physical threat. Researchers at the University of Michigan, led by Ethan Kross, discovered something that shocked the psychology world in 2011. When participants were shown photographs of ex-partners who had broken up with them, the same brain regions that lit up during physical pain also activated during the emotional pain of social rejection. Not similar regions, the same ones. Your brain registers being left out of a group chat with the same threat signal it would generate if a predator cut you off from your tribe. Because in the ancestral environment, being cut off from your tribe was a death sentence. You could not survive alone. Exile meant exposure. Exposure meant being eaten. Social belonging was not a luxury. It was survival. So your brain still treats it that way. This is why public speaking terrifies more people than death in survey after survey. Standing in front of a crowd triggers the same ancient circuitry as standing exposed in open ground with no cover and nowhere to run. Your amygdala does not know you are just giving a quarterly report. It knows you are visible. You are the focus of dozens of pairs of eyes, and in every environment your ancestors ever lived in, that meant something was about to happen. This is why you replay arguments in your head for days afterward. Your brain is running threat assessment on a loop, trying to identify what went wrong, what signal you missed, whether this means your position in the social group is compromised. It is doing what it was built to do. It is scanning for the predator that is no longer there. This is why you cannot sleep before something important. Your body is preparing for a physical event that never comes. The cortisol rises, the muscles tighten, the mind races through scenarios. Your ancestors needed this before a hunt, before an encounter with a rival group, before a dangerous river crossing. Your body runs the same program before a job interview. Psychologist Martin Seligman introduced the concept of preparedness theory, the idea that humans are biologically pre-wired to fear certain things more easily than others. Snakes, spiders, heights, the dark, angry faces, sudden loud noises. These fears do not need to be learned. They can be acquired in a single frightening experience, and they are almost impossible to fully extinguish because they were baked into your neural architecture long before you were born. But try to make someone irrationally afraid of a flower or a plug socket, objects that pose far greater danger in the modern world, and it takes hundreds of repetitions. Your brain resists. Because evolution does not update in real time. You are running ancient software on a modern machine. And here is the counterintuitive truth that changes how you should think about this. Most of what you experience as anxiety, the racing thoughts, the chest tightness, the scanning and the vigilance, is not weakness. It is competence. It is a system working exactly as intended. The problem is not that your brain is broken. The problem is that your brain is brilliant at solving a problem that no longer exists. What your ancestors needed, you have inherited. The hypervigilance that kept a young woman alive on the African savanna 200,000 years ago is the same system that keeps you awake the night before a difficult conversation. The threat scanning that helped a hunter notice movement in tall grass is the same system that makes you flinch every time your phone lights up with an unknown number. You did not develop anxiety because something went wrong with you. You developed it because something went spectacularly right with your ancestors. The next time your chest tightens and your breath goes shallow over something that, logically, you know is not going to kill you, pause for a moment. Your amygdala cannot tell the difference between a performance review and a predator, but you can. And that gap between what your ancient brain believes and what your modern mind knows is where everything changes. You felt it this morning, that tightening in your chest, that quickening pulse, that ancient alarm firing in a world where the predators are gone. You felt it, and now you know exactly what it was.